Hello there, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome to Radiant Moon Tarot. Today we are here having a look at July 2026 for your money and your career. So Pisces, well, you are kind of a little bit front and center, not because something's coming into your sign, but because something is shifting away. You might find a sense of closure or a sense of relief. Maybe even for the first few weeks, a sense of urgency. The North Node and the South Node have been in Pisces and Virgo, and they are changing into Aquarius and Leo on the 26th of July. So again, you may have wrapped something up. You could have something changing coming to fruition for you, but it is quite a significant shift. All right. We also do have retrogrades this month. We've got Mercury retrograde all the way up until the 23rd. There will still be a shadow period after that, so we can really kind of consider the entire month to be Mercury retrograde. So be extra cautious with technology. Be aware of making impulsive decisions. Make sure that if you are going to do something that you sleep on it, or that you have an opportunity for legal advice, just take extra care, do attention with traveling, making travel plans with cars, and of course, communication is the number one thing there. Hey, if you are traveling, we can't always just live our life by the retrogrades, right? If you are traveling though, just make sure you take copies of everything. Don't only rely on your electronics. Take paper printed copies directly from a website or an email to prove your reservation or that you can get go, because Mercury retrograde is that time when your technology is going to fail you right when you need it the most. We also have a lot of planets at 4 degrees. Okay, 4 is a very significant number this month. You might be seeing a lot of 4s, okay, or it can just be an indication of where to focus. 4s are about stability and security, our foundations that we've built, planting roots. And Mercury is retrograde in the sign of Cancer. So this can really be a focus on getting things back in order in the house that you live in. So where you live, who you live with, your household finances, maybe playing a key role. As far as your work goes, maybe you want to work a little closer to home or work within the home, expand a home-based business, or maybe just try and find a better work-home life balance, but certainly focus on your balancing of your household finances and budget can be important. Some of you might be considering moving where you live, right? Moving to a different neighborhood, selling your home, buying your first home, all that kind of stuff. All the money matters that surround your home life. We also have Neptune retrograde at 4 degrees in Aries from 7/7, July 7th, all the way up to 12/12, December 12th. So very interesting there. Pluto retrograde is already retrograde all the way up until October 15th. Saturn retrograde, July 26th to December 10th. So retrogrades are an opportunity to refocus, reboot, regroup, renew, reassess, reevaluate, and maybe even revive. We can get second chances when retrogrades are in play, and we have 4 planets retrograde. Okay, we also have here this month, we've got Jupiter entering Leo on June 30th. Awesome. Okay, really nice little glow up kind of energy. Jupiter is expansion, growth, luck, good fortune, fate, destiny, all these kind of wonderful things. But ultimately can help us to grow and expand, right? And Leo energy is pretty fun, and it's leadership energy and it's courage. The middle of the month is what astrologers have been looking forward to for a long time. And we've got all the outer planets, which significantly have all changed signs now within like the last year or two. But they're all finally in their new signs, and they do stay there for a while because they are slow moving planets. But they're all making aspects all at 4 degrees. And this is what, there is an astrologer called Barbeau, and he was a mundane astrologer. So day to day, not so focused on the spiritual, right? Just how this impacts our day-to-day lives. He is actually the astrologer that predicted the 2020 pandemic. He did unfortunately pass away the year before it, but he did predict it. And so this energy coming in the middle of July is called Barbeau's basket. And it's a really beautiful geometric design. If you care to go and look it up, it looks like a basket with all these planets making aspects to each other. But we've got between the 18th of July and the 20th of July, we've got Uranus in a trine with Pluto, Jupiter in a opposition to Pluto. That's one to watch out for. Also, July 20th, Jupiter trine Neptune, and Jupiter in a sextile with Uranus. So some really supportive energy, a lot of potential here, but we do have that little chink in the armor with that opposition, and that can potentially be a good one, a big one, because Jupiter amplifies everything it touches, and so an opposition with Pluto, can bring out the dark and dirty sometimes there with that, but it can be a catalyst for change. And with Jupiter being very supportive, this can be good. So this can be something that comes to light in your workplace. This can be something where you want to change and grow, but there's something kind of pulling you back or stopping you, and you could have a massive breakthrough. Uranus is playing a number of key aspects for us in the month of July. Uranus is the modern day ruler of Aquarius. It is about the future. And, but it is the great awakener. Awakens us up to our goals and our dreams, awakens us up to our spiritual selves as well, but also awakens us up to possibilities and our potential. Uranus is also a planet of freedom. So freeing us from something that's been holding us back, or freeing us from ourselves, maybe even as well, so that we can move forward in a more healthy, more exciting, more prosperous, and abundant way. So there's all kinds of possibilities that can open up with all of these planetary aspects. For some, it can be instantaneous. It can be like, whoa, what just happened? For others, it can be like playing out over the next little while. These aren't one and done energies. There's a buildup, and then there's like a kind of a release from those things. So expect the unexpected here, guys. Okay, that's really what it is. And especially with that, with the north and south nodes that are leaving Pisces, Virgo, this can be a little bit of a relief for you. The north node was in your sign, and so there could be some hand of fate that's going on around here, and hopefully that hand of fate brings you some money or some freedom. Some of you are looking for financial freedom and retirement. We've got the Nine of Wands in reverse as your first card. Yep. You are ready to let go. You're ready for a break. So the Nine of Wands, you're ready for adventure, a vacation. This can be an energy of, where you've maybe felt a little bit stuck. Or you've been feeling like you've been holding on to something here. And so this can be really that indicator that, okay, where have you been? Where have you been, trying to wrap something up? Okay, and you're not quite there at the finish line. So we need to try and focus on getting things done and turning things around. But this can be that you are ready for change. You're ready for something to shift here. Okay, whether it's something in your workplace, maybe there's some people that you don't like working with, or maybe you feel like you've hit the proverbial glass ceiling and you're like, I know my worth now and I want some more. Whatever it is, right? Old patterns and habits. And again, maybe you just want a little bit of rest. So a vacation, right? Those retrogrades invite you to slow down a little bit because we're tired and we're weary. All right. So if you've been feeling trapped, then there could be a breakthrough moment coming here for you. Got the Empress coming in. Now, interestingly enough, so the Empress is Venus energy, right? Venus is entering Virgo on the 10th of July. Okay, it's in Leo at the beginning of the month, which is great, right? When the Empress goes into Virgo, it can be, maybe slows down a little bit, right? And so the Empress is a super positive card, but she is sitting in your challenge energy. Doesn't mean impossible, just means challenge. So there could be some patience required for resources that you need, or to get a creative project off the ground, or to reap your rewards. The Empress is representative of abundance and manifestation, a time of harvest, so reaping what you've sown. It is also, heightened creativity and the potential for new beginnings. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy, bringing you resources that you need as well. So why in the challenge position? Well, it could be that we need to be open, okay, to kind of see the possibilities, the potential, and to receive something here. And we're not quite that open yet. We could need to be a little bit patient, or perhaps we're waiting for some sort of divine inspiration. Okay, the Empress is your divine feminine energy, right? And so your power to attract. Do you believe you can attract things into your life? Or is it something a little different? So, and it's kind of like a little bit of a heads up that maybe your energy is becoming a little bit closed off and we need to get her right open, okay? Because that Empress can bring you some wonderful possibilities and bring you something as a gift, as a reward. We've got the High Priestess, and this is your blessings energy. So, with the High Priestess, you might have a very important decision to make. And the High Priestess reminds you to, number one, trust your intuition. Also, the moon cycles may be very important for you this month as well. We do start off the month in the remnants of the full moon in Capricorn that occurred on June 29th or 30th. Mercury retrograde can be about your house and your home and resolving issues and bringing in some healing energy, all that. So there could be like the fixing of your financial situation in your home. We also have a new moon in Cancer, and that is on the 14th of July. And we've got a full moon in Aquarius on July 29th. Okay, and that is the same day as we have the sun conjunct Jupiter, who is your traditional ruler, by the way. So we do want to look at Jupiter. Sun is in Jupiter in Leo at 6 degrees. So that is like a kind of a really cool, beautiful day. The sun conjunct Jupiter is also always like, whoa, this is awesome energy, filled with potential, filled with blessings, a huge glow up, and it can be a little bit magical and lucky that day there. Okay, so those moon cycles, pay attention to those in the month ahead. The High Priestess, though, can represent that there's something going on that either you need to be quiet about, okay, or something that is hidden and going on behind the scenes. The High Priestess is the keeper of secrets and mysteries. She is a mute energy, okay? So, whatever you're doing with your money, whether you're planning a vacation, whether you're buying something, maybe you're looking to change jobs, maybe you've put some resumes out there. The High Priestess says the blessing for you will be keeping it to yourself, keeping it quiet. Now, why is that? Well, we do have Pluto in the mix this month, right? And Pluto is is working with a couple of different planets here. So Pluto, you can't trust Pluto, right? So if you've got, I might be a little older than some of you, and these days, like people are more inclined to like talk about their money and their salary and things like this. And I just like overhear some of these conversations, and I'm like having a stroke, right? Because I've always, I come from, British anyway, right? So no one ever talks about anything. But it's just from that time growing up where you didn't ask your parents how much they made. You didn't discuss your salary with coworkers. My family has no idea how much money I make, and it's none of their business. And sometimes, money can sometimes bring out the worst in people, right? Look at what's going on. The U.S. is kind of out of Pluto retrograde now, but it did strike a whole bunch of things, money and power and corruption and lies and all of those kind of things, right? And so the High Priestess says that there could be something around you that is a cause for you to be quiet. Play your cards close to your chest. Okay, she's not a negative energy. Okay, but keep the wisdom inside. All right. It's going to also be a great time to discover some wisdom and information. Okay, so seek and you shall find. The Empress is here. The Empress brings resources to you should you look for them. So you may just need to put in a little bit of effort to find some resources that you need, especially if it's knowledge. And then we have the Two of Cups. Lovely. Two of Cups. Things coming together. in balance and harmony. If you've got some things going on around your home, this is where you get the resolution, you get things back on track. It's like, okay, the Two of Cups, you could find the perfect job, the perfect position, the perfect investment opportunity. Hence why High Priestess, you need to keep it to yourself a little bit. Nobody ever got ahead by waltzing through your current workplace announcing that you're looking for a new job. That won't work out well for you. Okay. So this Two of Cups says that there could be something, some partnership that is blessed. It's kind of like a soulmate energy, right? But we are talking about your money or your career path, right? And so, but yeah, we can have these fated events, and you open up, you just happen to be at the right place at the right time. You open up the well, maybe not the newspaper these days, but you open up your computer and you go and I wonder what kind of jobs are out there. I wonder what kind of opportunities might fit my skill set or might float my boat. And then boom, you might find something there. You decide to put in my application, and then it's done. And it just happened to be that stroke of luck. Sometimes luck is loud and sometimes it is subtle. But follow your intuition no matter what you got going, because that Two of Cups is beautiful. Let's get some more cards for you. Knight of Cups, lovely. Ace of Swords, beautiful, something new. Ten of Wands, see, tired, okay. Five of Cups, and then the Ten of Pentacles. Booyah. All right. Ten of Pentacles is what we want to see in a money reading. That is for sure. So we've got a couple little bumps in the road, not surprising, right? It's coming out in the astrology. We have some wonderful stuff. So some of you here, you either have a path of opportunity opening up for you to do something that you love, something that you create. You're a very creative sign. Because the Knight of Cups is on the quest for something more than just money. Money is good. Money is great. But on the quest for something more enlightening, more fulfilling, something filled with fun and happiness and joy. Now, this could potentially be a job change. This could potentially be a new project that you want to really sink your teeth into, right? We've got the Ace of Swords. You're filled with ideas. And this can actually boost your reputation, right? It's not necessarily a job change, but people may just see you in a way that's like, whoa, Pisces, I didn't know you had that in you. This is fantastic. Knights are always on a quest, right? In the upright, they are successful. So successfully moving forward with your new ideas or with your project, just be aware of the Ten of Wands, okay, that things can be a little tiring. You might need to put a lot of time and effort into something here, but you also here have a danger zone of taking on too much responsibility. So if you are spearheading something here, make sure you delegate, okay? People might not like it, Five of Cups, right? But you need to split the baby. You need to delegate some things. You cannot do everything on your own. However, no matter what your situation is, you always trudge forward until the completion day, right? But, if you have someone to delegate with, that's even better. And this does make you successful. There could be something here where you might need to, have a chit chat with someone and they're not so happy about it, but in the end, you get the work done. This can also represent, you finding something you love. The Knight of Cups can be an offer or an opportunity coming in. Ace of Swords, something new. The Ace of Swords is a huge yes card, okay? So whether it's just a matter of staying positive, trudging forward, keeping on until you hit your target, hit your goal. It's a long drawn out thing. Protect your energy, but the Ten of Pentacles, right? You succeed with whatever you're wanting to move forward with. But because we've got the Two of Cups, we've got the Empress, we've got the Knight of Cups, and we've got your Ten of Pentacles, right? Your happy home, happy family, one of your happy ever after cards, but especially in regards to the physical aspects of it. I feel like some of you have a relationship status change coming in. Okay, if you're single, you can meet the person of your dreams. A lot of faded energy coming in. right? If you are dating someone, that's an engagement. If you are already engaged, maybe you move in together. You're creating this family unit because you're building a good foundation. Okay, so you could have something like that coming in. You may have a waiting game here, so you may know that something is on the horizon. You may get that feeling. Okay, and it's just I'm looking at this 5 of Cups, and the ten of Wands. Okay, we're ending a challenging cycle, right? Things are going to get better and easier. But with the 5 of Cups, it's like it's a card of grief. It's a card of sadness and disappointment. It's one of where we need to process our emotions, let them go, and we can turn around and see that there's some good that can come out of this. We do have the 2 of Cups, and in the 5 of Cups, 3 cups spilt, 2 still standing. Okay, so sometimes we need to level our expectations about something. um you know I mean, if someone's proposing to you, right, yes, this will change your financial status. Okay, because now you're moving in together, sharing income, sharing resources, right? Now you're more abundant without actually doing anything other than moving forward with your relationship and your commitment, right? So it can be really wonderful things, and has a really positive impact on your money. But just be aware, though, that someone may be a little bit more practical than you when it comes to money matters. And so, yes, there can be a proposal. This is a yes card, so you're going to say yes. Okay. But you maybe put a lot of expectation on this person. Maybe the ring isn't big enough, or the proposal wasn't bright and shiny enough. So there is something here where there's like some disappointment. Okay. But it's still a positive thing. So release those expectations, right? Because it's not about the size of the ring. Coming from someone that spent 10 years in the luxury jewelry industry, and when I saw it, I knew I was jaded when a 10-carat diamond came across my desk, and I'm like, ugh, that's crap. Right? So, believe me, it's not about the size of the ring or the diamond, or it's not about the fanciness of the proposal, it's about the love. Right? So just be aware of that, because here the 10 of Pentacles, maybe instead of a lot of money put on a ring, perhaps that money can go into building a house, building a home, a stable financial future. Right? So just kind of keep that in mind. But I do feel here also, because I have to address the challenging cards. I can't just sugarcoat everything for you. It just feels like here as well that there could be an opportunity, or you may be looking for an opportunity. You're on a quest for something here, right? A career that's maybe a little more fulfilling, or perhaps you embark on a spiritual path and you're like, well, this isn't kind of bringing me in the money that I wanted. There's that disappointment, but I'm still moving forward with it, but I'm stressed out about the money. Let the money go. Okay, let the expectations about the money go. Especially if anyone is telling you, oh, you're in a spiritual practice, you shouldn't charge for your readings. No, yeah, pound sand. Okay, of course you can. Money is merely a form of an exchange. We're exchanging energy, right? I am giving you my time in exchange for you giving me something back. You don't get to sponge off of me for free. That's not how this thing works. That's not how the world works. Okay, we are in a material world, right? Yes, I got a lot of spiritual stuff as well, but money we need. Okay, you are paying me for my services. You're paying me, number one, for my time, right? You're paying me for my years of extensive learning and experience. I've been reading tarot since I was like 13. Okay. I had a huge gap in there in the middle when apparently I had to clear out some karmic cycles, but you know what I mean? So if you're on wanting to follow like a spiritual practice, or the practice of an artist or something, let go of the money, but don't let anyone convince you or try and guilt you into giving something away for free. There has to be an exchange, right? That way the energy keeps flowing to you, back to you. It's all circulatory. Okay, so there could be some disappointment there. There could also be a realization there that when you find your dream job, right, or your dream project that it comes with some problems, or maybe it doesn't quite pay me what I want, but you could also be pleasantly surprised. So you may have a couple of different things that you may need to say no to, because the 10 of Wands can be a reminder of saying no to certain things, especially if it's something like, don't say yes to something because you feel you have to, because there is abundance, there's prosperity, there's wealth, there's stability, security with your money in the long term, right? For the long term, that is showing up for you in your reading. Okay, so you may need to be patient. You may need to take your time. You may need to recognize when someone's trying to put a whole bunch of extra responsibility on you. Just because you're capable doesn't mean they should. Okay, and so yes, this can bring in some disappointment and feel like a setback, but there's those 2 cups still trying to come in for you. So a perfect partnership. So even if something doesn't happen for you this particular month, okay, stay on the lookout, stay on the quest. What does your heart want? Where do you want to go? Right? Because you can find that job that gives you more than just a paycheck, but hopefully gives you that paycheck that you very much deserve. All right. But I feel someone may help you in some way this month as well. Knight of Cups can be someone very generous, and there is an offer, right? There's an offer there somewhere, and some really good positive communication. So don't underestimate that. Maybe you feel guilty taking someone's money or help. 5 of Cups, right? You want to get out of that. Process emotions and feelings, process those things, and then get rid of them and move forward. We have Fire, card number 10. You've got a number of 10s coming out, right? You have the 10 of Wands, right? The 10 of Pentacles, yay. And now you've got 10 Fire. Let go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the present. There you go. There's that 5 of Cups showing up there. So things are getting better for you there. And we have Plane. Oh, someone's going on a journey. A journey is indicated either physically or metaphorically. Your life will become more full. Wonderful. Some of you pack your bags. You might be heading out on a bit of a surprise journey. Might not be in July, because I don't have a single travel card here. Okay, gotta tell you. But it could be in August, right? So again, not everything is going to play out this month. So you might need to be a little more patient, but just be open to saying yes to stuff. That's what I have for you, Pisces. I'm going to leave that there for you. If you enjoyed your reading, please do hit the thumbs up there. It does help the video get seen because it's interaction from you that helps the algorithm, give me some positive stuff going on. Anyways, but I do thank you. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I will see you next time. Bye.